say a word. I can see how much that hurts. Listen now for what it's worth. Help is on the way. Sometimes when you're in despair, you forget somebody cares. You miss the love that's always there. When you feel this way, so if you're down and out, think no one can save you now. Baby, let there be no doubt it's gonna be alright. The world keeps turning, and even when the sun is hiding, somewhere in the world it's shining. Even when it seems so far away, baby, there's a silver lining to everything. And sometimes when you need some help, you can blame it on yourself, till you feel like there's nothing left and ain't nothing gonna change. If you're feeling blue, like this time you won't pull through, baby, that's not half the truth. It's gonna be alright. Don't you worry, 'cause even if the sun is hiding, somewhere in the world it's shining. Even if it seems so far away, baby, there's a silver lining to everything. To learn to fly, you risk it all. And baby, how it hurts to fall. You wanna run, but there's another way. And even if the sun is hiding, somewhere in the world it's shining, even when it seems so far away. And when you're broken hearted, when it isn't all where we started, looking for the love that saved the day. And even when the sun is hiding, somewhere in the world it's shining, even when it seems so far away. And baby, there's a silver lining to everything. My ear on? I think he does. That song was written by my friend Tom Kimmel, and he wrote it for Stuart Little 2. You ever see the Stuart Little movie? He wrote it for the Stuart Little 2. It didn't get in there, but I play it a lot. It's a really good song. Really like it. So welcome to Unity of Savannah, everybody. I think I know a lot of you, but there's some people here that I don't know. My name is Kyle. I'm the music director here, and I'm a licensed Unity teacher. And Reverend L asked me a few weeks ago if I would give the message today, and I said something like, I just really can't do questions right now. Just give me directions, and I can handle that. He said, okay, you're speaking on March 5th. Good, fine, okay then. It's all great. So here we are. It has been a while since I gave the message. I guess when I was going through L.U.T school, I used to do this all the time. But it's been a while, so it's going to be fun this morning. The topic that's been swirling around is one that's, you know, when you're thinking about something and kind of everywhere you go, there it is. It's the the process of awakening. So people that hang out at Unity or in the spiritual places, we're always talking about this nirvana or this spiritual awakening. And I think a lot of people, I know myself, I didn't really understand it for a long time, and I still don't understand it sometimes because I think it's over. Like, ooh, I'm there now. I feel so good. Nothing could ever rattle me again. And there's this whole idea that if I'm rattled, then I can't be spiritual, or I can't be awake, or I must not be doing this right. There's these ideas, and that's the furthest from the truth. Because if you weren't awakening, you wouldn't even be thinking all of this. It's like, yeah, this is part of the awakening. I just think about ice cream, not the onions. I just think about ice cream. But in any case, given this some meditation, I've come to the conclusion that there are two things in general that most of us don't appreciate. The first thing is the way things are. And the second thing is change. That hit home. That hit home really well. So we don't like the way things are, and we don't like change. We laugh about that because it's true. The impact of it hits us, and we laugh because it's true. It might remind us of ourselves. So the way things are is a very interesting statement, and it's one I really want to focus on today. Because the way things are, our ideas and our development of our mind starts right when we're born and right when we come into consciousness, and all through our lives we're developing this idea of the way things are, right? Say, I know the way things are. My daughter Lily is 15 now, so I have just watched her go from 0 to 15. And I've seen all this up close and personal. She has the most incredible curls that you could possibly imagine. When she was 2, the back of her head looked like one of those old dolls. They were in rows, and the first thing that kid did when she was big enough was seating iron. Right? Now, if her hair would have been straight, she would have went for the curling iron, right? Because we don't like the way things are. We don't like the way things are. I know you have straight versus curly, and then you have too skinny versus too fat, and then you have too tall and too short. I know when I was a kid, I did not like that I had red hair. My hair was very red. I mean, really red when I was in elementary school. And of course, I had a lot of freckles. I was a little bit chubby. I didn't even like my name. I never really liked the name Kyle. I thought I should have been like, I don't even know what I thought I should have been, but anything but Kyle, right? Because I don't like the way things are. So we develop these ideas. What we like, what we don't like, what's good, what's bad, what's pretty, what's ugly. And we begin to see these things in our lives. We see somebody that's got a better house than us. We see somebody that's got a better car than us. We see all these things, and it's easy to get trapped into these ideas that we form in our minds, and the trick, the sleight of hand, if you will, is that all of these things become our fundamental fabric. They become our beliefs. Because what we teach all the time, what you think is. It's going to be. You're doing this with your mind. These things are so embedded in us that we know them so well that we don't even know them. We don't even see them. Why? Because that's just the way it is. Right? So, and it is a sleight of hand. They become us and we become them. Here are some examples of what I'm trying to get across. I am middle class. How about that? People work their fingers to the bone all their lives just to barely get by. I don't want to do that. I am ugly, and so the first person who pays attention to me will be the one. She looked this way. I think I love her. I better grab on to this train, These are things that we don't notice. We don't even know these things about ourselves because they're so close to us, because they are just the way they are, right? So,
whatever you believe is true for you.
So remember our joke, we don't like the way things are, the way we are. And then we're doing the best we can with what we have. You ever heard that? It's true sometimes. You look back and you go, well, they were doing the best they can with what they have. It's true today. You ever read the 4 Agreements? Always do your best. It says, well, you are doing your best. So it's true. You are doing the best you can with what you have. So the question is what do you think you have? Are things really the way I think they are? Maybe, maybe not. Discontent. So if I don't like the way things are, then I'm discontent. So the question is, can discontent somehow become content? In meditation and working with the spiritual laws, you're going to start discovering what your fundamental beliefs are. You're going to start discovering the ideas that you have about yourself, the ideas that you have about other people. Those things are going to start becoming inherently clear to you. I did this thing. I don't really tell everybody this, but I'll tell you this thing because I really want to do something here. So Edwina Gaines came. She was the mother of Queen of Prosperity. She came years ago here, and I sat in on her workshop. And when she finished her workshop, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this. So for the next year, I tithed 10% of everything I made. I was playing music full time, so I was very, very stern about it, and I never missed. And I tithed, and somewhere towards the end of the year, I figured up that I had tithed about $3,500. And I was so happy. I thought I could never imagine that me, the musician, would be able to tithe that kind of money to places where I had been spiritually fed. And at the time, I was around town doing a lot of drum circles and a lot of meditations, and I was working with different people. One day I went out to my mailbox, and there was a letter from a lady I hadn't seen in about 6 months. And I thought, wow, this is, I haven't seen her in about 6 months. So I opened up the letter, and it said, hey, I love you. You helped me out so much. I'm in North Carolina, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. And you helped me out so much, I sold my house in Savannah, and I wanted to give you a tithe. And it was the amount that I had figured out that I had tithed the year before. And I never tithed again. I stopped. I tithed on the money, and then I quit. And then about 6 months later, I thought, oh my God, you haven't tithed in like 6 months. And then the more I thought about it, and the more I investigated it, is I had demonstrated that these spiritual laws actually work. And it scared the bejesus out of me. Why else would I stop? Why else would you stop? And so I had to begin to work with, no wonder you're freaking broke. If you ever do anything and money comes to you, you stop. Right? So I had to find those fundamental beliefs that I was dealing with, okay? So that's my example of how you discover what your fundamental beliefs are. I always thought that I wanted money. I never knew that I didn't want money, right? I never knew that. I never knew that I thought that I was middle class and that I was poor and that I was going to work my fingers to the bone for all my life, just so whenever I had to go to the nursing home, they was going to take my house away. I didn't know that that's what I thought about myself, because that's just the way it was, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. The second part of the joke, if you think the first one was bad, the second one is change. It's even worse. But here's a true statement. You can turn your hair any color you want. Well, you can.
That's not true, Kyle.
Okay, I'm trying here. Never mind. Never mind. You can change it any color. You can dye your hair any color you want. I have seen people who were overweight lose weight. I've seen people who were underweight gain weight. Has anybody ever come up to you at a family reunion or something and go, oh, Missy, you are just the perfect weight? Jim, has anybody ever turned around in the middle of a gig and looked at you and said, that was just the perfect speed?
No.
It's either a little too fast, a little too slow. I'm very conscious I really try not to do that to drummers because I get it. Alcoholic can get sober. I've seen the most hopelessly addicted addicts get clean. I've seen it happen. I've had it happen to me. I've seen people with no money get money. We see these things happen. So change is possible. I've got to figure out, what are my fundamental beliefs about myself? What am I holding about myself? What am I doing to create this reality that I'm in right now? And what is it that needs to change? And can it change? Can it change? Is it possible for it to change? People, I know it is possible for me to stop smoking, but I don't want to. I like my cigarettes. I'm sorry. Maybe, but I know it's possible. I used to like other stuff, and one day I didn't like them no more. I know it's possible. Anything is possible. So we may hold some fundamental beliefs that are not true. Everything in the universe is constantly in motion and changing. Things can change. An individual can change. It is my fundamental belief, and this is truly my fundamental belief. It is my fundamental belief that this entire universe, including us, is evolving, awakening, no matter how painfully or slowly, towards the good. I believe that everything is going forward. Smallest consciousness, the asleep are just asleep today. They might not be asleep 2 years from now. the level of awakening or consciousness that I'm at now, 2 years from now is not going to be, it's going to be different. You're changing, you're moving, you're evolving, you're growing, whether you want to or not. Whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're conscious of it or not. It's happening. So it's not going to happen. And this is the other thing that I struggle with a lot, especially lately. And when we start working with the words content versus discontent, if I'm feeling discontent, I'm thinking about 2 weeks from now. Or something that may happen at some undetermined time in the future. Contentment lies in the now. Contentment lies here. Contentment lies now. That's where contentment is for me. So that's another big deal is the meditation, the centering, and the staying in the now. Charles Fillmore, one of the founders of Unity, a couple of quotes. Right here and now, the great work of character building is to be done. Who knew that spiritual awakening had to do with character building? I thought I could put on an orange robe and some beads and go sit in the park. But it is a real drag when you don't have anywhere to go when the sun goes down. You don't have a home or a car or a way to get there, right? It's character building. So right here and now, the great work of character building is to be done. And whoever neglects present opportunities, looking forward to future heaven for better conditions, is pulling right away from the kingdom of heaven within himself. You must first enter into the understanding that God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. God is the source, and that you can draw on this source without limit. Why? Because as we awaken in consciousness, we realize that we are the source. We are the power. The power is us. Just like I demonstrated that law of attraction with my tithing, and it all came back to me in that strange way. We demonstrate the laws all the time. You are working with the laws. Like if I don't have something, it's because something inside of me and my belief system does not want it. Or doesn't think I'm worthy of having it. Right? So we can draw on this source without limit. And my mantra for years was, behold, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And I'm gonna make a commitment to myself to start working with that mantra again this year. Behold, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's not on the way. It's not down at Home Depot. It's at hand, which is at hand, in my hand. It's here. Looking fruitless because I'm looking for myself. This is it. In consciousness. If something needs to change, it can, I can, we can. Think about the miraculously that you've seen in other people's lives. This is something, when I sit down to meditate, I literally call out John Coltrane, Randy Weston, Eugene Davis, Paramahansa Yogananda. Like I say the names of the people that I have met or that I have come into contact with in some way that are of what I consider to be a higher consciousness. I literally say their names out loud. You're almost there. You're almost there. And that helps me tune to to that consciousness. I know that it does. It helps me tune to that consciousness. You can call Jesus, you can, whoever, the Buddha, whatever you want to call, whatever names you want to say, you can say them. And you can feel it when I start calling these names, when I call them out. I can feel it, feel their energy. It's pretty incredible. In the moment here in heaven, how can we possibly think that God has made a mistake or that something is wrong? It's a process. Usually how the process works with me is, it's great, I know it really well, it's not so great anymore, now it's killing me. And I cry when I have to stop. but that's the process. So I hope I've said some things and given you some things to think about learning how to like things the way they are and learning that we can change if we want to. And also knowing that we're changing anyway, whether we like it or not. It's happening. And so relax with me into prayer, if you will. And as we go into prayer, I speak with my voice from my consciousness to your consciousness, from my true self to your true self, from my Christ to your Christ. Not to your mind, but to you. The watcher, the observer, the awareness, the knower, the part of you that is aware of what the mind is thinking. The part of you that has the ability to change what the mind is thinking, to tell the mind what to think.